Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello, how are you? If you're old here, welcome back. Like I said, this video is different, and for one, let me start off by saying this is not my room. I know it probably look a little messy in the back. This is not my room. I'm in a different room because I am in the middle of moving and I got everything packed up, my YouTube area, everything. So had to work with this space for right now. But yes, if you've seen the title correctly, then yes, you read it right. I enjoyed the Until Dawn movie. I know some of y'all are probably thinking, girl, you are tripping, you have lost your mind. That movie sucks.
Double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Real bad. But look, let me see if I can kind of persuade y'all into seeing what I'm seeing in the movie so y'all know the reasons why I enjoyed the movie. I am a multi-time player of the video game. I have played the video game multiple times and I've played it twice on my gaming channel. So if you love the game, make sure that y'all go to my gaming channel and go take a look at me playing. I played alone by myself, and then I played with my mother and my sister for the remake. So yes, here we go. Let's crack into it. The Until Dawn movie starts off with the character Melanie, who is the sister of the star, the main star, Clover. We see her in distress trying to escape. She's dirty, she's sad, she's scared. We see a killer. Obviously, in the very beginning, we don't know what the killer looks like, who the person is that she's even talking to when she's trying to, talk her way out of getting killed. But if you've seen the previews, then you already know who the killer is because they showed it in the previews. She dies. Cut to that. We now open up with the rest of the cast that we'll be seeing for the rest of the movie, which is Clover, Melanie's sister, Abe, Nina, which is the girlfriend and also close friend to Clover, but girlfriend to Abe, I meant to say, Matt, who's the ex-boyfriend to Clover, and Megan, who's also the friend in the group. We also have Dr. Hill, who they run into very shortly after being introduced to these characters. They go to the store. Clover asks Dr. Hill, who at the moment is unbeknownst to us that this is Dr. Hill. He's right now just the gas station clerk. Clover's asking around, asking if he's seen her sister, and he does tell her that no, he hasn't seen her, but he knows exactly where she stayed, and if she stayed there, she's missing. Most people will probably be like, okay, well, if that's the place she went missing, then we shouldn't be going there. But we need a movie. So Clover goes to the place where she goes missing. It instantly starts raining. It wasn't raining at first, but now it's raining. They drive into the entrance of the place where she goes missing. And what do you know? It's not raining anymore. This is a weird weather anomaly. Sometimes it happens in real life. But for movie-wise, obviously the characters are not used to this. It's weird to them. They're like, how could it be raining right there and it's not raining here? It happens. I hear a lot of people say that this happens a lot in Florida. So if you're from Florida, I guess you can confirm. I don't know. But yep. Almost instantly, the action starts. They get in the house. Nina writes her name in the book, and they also see Melody's name being wrote down in the book 13 different times, and it's starting to look different every single time that she writes her name. It starts off nice handwriting, and as you go down in the book, it starts to become chicken scratch. So, yes, like I said, the action starts pretty soon as they get in the house. Abe finds missing posters. He tells everybody that this is weird because it only is just pictures and it doesn't have their names. It doesn't have the info, where were they last seen or anything like that. It's very strange. They're already starting to suspect what's going on. And boom, right off the bat, somebody's in Abe's car. They look outside. Who is that? Nobody knows. None of us knows right now, obviously. But if you guessed it, congratulations, you're good at this. Me, I guessed that it was Dr. Hill, but it was not. Obviously, we didn't know, like I said, that Dr. Hill was the killer at the time. I mean, not the killer, but we didn't know that he was involved at the time. Sorry, spoilers for everybody who hasn't seen this movie. It's been out for a while now, so if you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler. I should have said that at the beginning, but this is spoilers. We didn't know that Dr. Hill was involved at the time, so yes. But if you figured out who it was, or even figured out that Dr. Hill was even involved, congratulations to you. But yes, these characters were actually pretty smart when it comes to a lot of the instincts in this horror situation. They did make some dumb decisions, but a lot of them were very smart. Starting with them going outside and seeing the person in the car and realizing that if they step onto the ground, they might get ran over or anything like that. So they decide to go back in the house. Great instincts, very smart. You definitely don't want to get ran over, especially by your own car, but just also by somebody you don't even know. You could die or be severely hurt. So great instincts. After a while, the first kills, they happen. They start to die one by one, starting with Abe, then off screen, Nina, and then I believe, from my knowledge, Megan, and then Max, and then Clover. After they all die, boom, this is the first time that they wake up again, almost in the style, in a sense, of the movie Happy Death Day and the sequel Happy Death Day to You, where they're dying multiple times or waking up on the same day. So here's the second day. They're waking up. They're like, oh my goodness, we just died. What just happened? So now they're like, okay, there's some strange stuff going on. We still don't know where Melanie is. This is weird. Every single time that they come back, something new appears in front of the house. There's a new object that just appeared, and they're like, was that there before? No, it obviously was not. So here we go, trying to figure out things, and they die again. Starting with Megan this time, who was possessed and then dies after entering the room where the missing posters were, and in a sense kind of conjuring up the spirits of the people that had died there in the past. She dies first, and then Clover gets taken by some entity, and she goes to a house next door to her with a witch inside. The witch possesses her, and they're like, okay, oh my goodness, like, what are we gonna do? Abe suggests that him and Nina leave to go get some help. Nina, she's not for it, but he convinces her this is the best idea, you know, if she wants to help her friends. So they leave, and Max goes to try to save Clover. Clover kills Max in her possessed state. And we have Abe and Nina who try to escape, but cannot. They run into a large ogre troll thing that has nothing to do with the game, but it's in the movie and we only see it once. We don't get any explanation from it. Definitely could have added more to their character, but that's the only time we ever see it. So boom, there it is. They then realize that they're trapped and they cannot escape, so they back up. They're trying to get out the car, maybe, I guess, run back in the house and see what they can do. And yep, well, they both get killed. So that's that. Boom, we wake up again for a third time. And now they realize that this is really serious. This is for real now. Like, it's bad. So now they're trying to really get into how they're going to escape this place and not die so many times, and also try to figure out where Melanie is. We still don't know anything about her, have heard anything from her, nothing like that. So they're still trying to figure things out, but slowly but surely starting to put things together. In the bathroom, talking, discussing the plans of what they're going to do. You know, they're starting not to remember certain things. Their body's starting to rot. They really need to figure out how to beat this so they can go home and also find Melanie and bring her home, which unbeknownst to her, to all of them, that, you know, she's passed away in a different state. But obviously, like I said, it's unbeknownst to them. It's unbeknownst to the audience at the time. So they decide to drink some water, starting with Abe first because they're thirsty. The water did not work the first time they were there when Megan went in the bathroom and checked the sink water herself. It was off. Didn't work at all. Now it works. Starting with Abe, he drinks some, passes some to the rest of his friends. They drink it. Within maybe 5 minutes tops at the most, boom, he explodes. Next, Nina explodes. Then, for some weird reason, Megan doesn't explode. It takes a little bit longer with her. It starts with her leg first, then it expands her stomach and pop. There she goes. She's dead. So now Max and Clover realizes that they're next. So they're like, okay, you have to kill me. This is what Clover tells Max. Max can't do it because he loves her so much. He just can't do it. It's like, we're going to come back. We cannot survive this because then our friends will be dead. We just can't do it. He fails to kill her. He blows up. She blows up. And boom, that's when we discover that Dr. Hill is behind this, but obviously not as Dr. Hill. We discovered that it was the gas station clerk that is behind this. He knew about it all along, which for some of you was probably like there's no surprise at all. Me, I wasn't too shocked. I guess I was slightly shocked, but I mean, it's Dr. Hill. I mean, can you really be surprised? So, boom, she blows up after her discovery. They come back 4th day. And now they're like, okay, look into papers, whatever you can find information on Dr. Hill and everything else that's going to tell us what's going on and who's behind this. They do find some information on Dr. Hill, and this is where we do discover that Dr. Hill is Dr. Alan Hill, who works at the sanatorium. No, not the same sanatorium that was in the game, but something similar. So, yes, now he gets on the CB radio and it's like, congratulations, you figured it out. I'm behind it, so what you gonna do about it? So they're talking and, they're like, I want out. He tells them, you can get out, but it's a soul for a soul. 4 of y'all can go, 1 of y'all has to die. That's how it is. And if y'all choose not to go that route, then y'all gonna die. That's just how it is. They also find a tape that shows them that after the 13th day, they turn into Wendigos, and the first Wendigo started from cannibalism, just like in the video game, started from cannibalism. It was a miner. They found out there was a mining incident, just like in the game, and that's when they got the first Wendigo from. He was hungry. They was experimenting on him. He ate someone. Boom, Wendigo. From their point on, others turned into Wendigos at that place. Most of them were just people that stayed there, not people who got trapped in the mines like in the game, but other Wendigos nonetheless. Wendigos of all ages, all races, all sizes, just lots of them. So he tells her, you know what? Come see your sister. He's manipulating her and she falls for it. He's like, she's out in the woods. If you want to see her, come out in the woods. She goes, slightly listening to Abe, who kind of eggs it on, and it's like, yeah, maybe you should try to go and see. This upsets everyone else because they're like, well, why would you tell her to do that? You know she's going to do that. He says that he didn't know she was going to do it, but I guess it was very obvious that she was. Which is why he did it in the first place. He's willing for her to sacrifice herself in order for the rest of them to die. Nobody else is with it. That's their friend. They've been friends since like kindergarten. They don't want any one of them to have to sacrifice themselves for anybody to die, unless it's going to be Abe, because they've only known him for about 3 months. So, boom, she goes, gets her foot caught in a bear trap. Max runs after her, go save her, got to save a hoe. He's still in love with this girl, so of course he's going to go run after her every single time she disappears, no matter if it's a ghost dragging her out the house, or if she willingly leaves herself, no matter, it could be anything, he's gonna follow after her. Shortly after Max shows up, and this is after Megan also goes with him to go after her, she dies by getting attacked by a Wendigo, falling in some glass onto the basement floor, dragged into the caves. So now he's alone. He meets up with Clover, and shortly after that, they see a person, a figure, and who is it? Well, nonetheless, then Melanie herself, we found Clover's sister. Only we found her in Wendigo form. So now, boom. It's clear to us, it's shown to us that she did not beat those 13 days. She did not make it. She's now a Wendigo. We can't save her. That's it. This obviously leaves Clover very distraught. They get attacked by her and they run away. The other friends, they die. Abe gets attacked by Nina because of his decision of manipulating Clover into going into the woods. Crazy part, didn't like it. Some of you might have been on Nina's side. Me personally, I was not, but to each their own. The killer shows up, killing both of them, starting with Abe first, then Nina. So they're done. We don't see them anymore. So yes, they realize that their friends die. They're dead. That's it. They're like, okay, we have to kill each other. Or we have to kill ourselves. One or the other. So Max goes ahead and kills Clover, and then he sacrifices himself so that they can come back, and as well their friends can come back. So they won't be the only two that survive the night. So there we are. There we have it. Boom. We wake up. We're thinking it's the 5th day. But no, it's not. It is now the 13th day. This is the last day. So if we don't beat this day, that's it. We're done. We're going to be Wendigos. We're going to be missing forever. We're going to be like Melanie and everybody else. We're never coming back. So, boom. They're like, let's come up with a plan. We have to figure this out because this is the last day. But during the time of that, they realize that Megan is missing. They're like, okay, where does she go? She usually respawns back in the bathroom, but she was, however, not in the bathroom this time. So they're like, where is she? They also question why they can't remember anything and what went on previously in the previous times and why they have that missing time. There's 8 days that's missing. Well, technically 9 days that's missing from the last time they can even recall to have some kind of recollection of them dying. So Abe finds his phone. He does remember that he has a phone, and on it doesn't show us, but he recorded the other 9 days that we didn't see on screen because it did a time jump 9 days ahead. So it shows us different outcomes of what happened the 5th day, the 6th day, the 7th, the 8th, so on and so forth, where they lost. And some of them died, some of them didn't. The final video shows everyone dead but Megan, and it shows Dr. Hill walking through the doors in the basement of the museum / home place where you stay. And he's going straight through the sanatorium into the cave. So it's like a sanatorium and a cave at the same time. So yeah, he's going through that. Megan is the first to wake up, so she got a chance to actually see him. And she recorded it on the camera, which everyone else sees for themselves when they do watch the video on Abe's phone. So she says that she's going to go get him. She's going to go check him out, going to go stop him, see what she can do, find a way to get out of here, see if she can solve it on her own. You know, when everyone wakes up, they know exactly where she is. So obviously they're going to go follow, and that's exactly what they do. They gear up. They're like, let's stick together. We're not going to split up. So they all go into the sanatorium area, which is under the house, through the basement. They go in there, and they run into Melanie. They run into other Wendigos. They're running. They still are like, we're not going to split up. However, the killer himself, the mass killer, he does split them up. And now Clover's on her own. And now it's Abe, Nina, and Max who are now together, and they have to find a way to stop this killer, because if they die this time, that's it. So they have to make sure that he doesn't kill them. They do, however, successfully beat this man, thank goodness, because that killer was very irritated. So, boom, we're done with that. Clover runs into a Wendigo, and she has to hide, make sure that she doesn't get killed by this Wendigo, because if this Wendigo kills her, then that's it. She's done as well. There's no past 200, pass, go, collect 200, nothing. That's it. She's done. Straight gone. She'll be a Wendigo with her sister, and they won't even remember each other. They'll just know each other as like fellow Wendigos. That's it. She doesn't get caught, so she goes into the room. There's like a surveillance room that Dr. Hill's in. He's talking, explaining things. It's like she's the perfect candidate, and this is really the reason why this happened. It's because of you. You kind of conjured up all of this stuff yourself and all this stuff, and how he was experimenting and testing things and all that. You know, the villains always have to explain the reasoning for why they did something, like people care. So she comes up with this elaborate plan, which is very smart, to put the water that's dripping from the ceiling into his cup of coffee or maybe tea, who knows. It drips in there without his notice because he's turned around talking to her, explaining his elaborate plan, yada, yada, yada. Then she finds a way to put it back without him noticing. And he drinks it and he's like, yeah, people are gonna die. She's like, yeah, people are gonna die. And you know, he starts convulsing and feeling weird and bubbly, and boom, he blows up. He's dead. So it's like, okay, now we gotta get out of here. We saved everyone so far, but we still have to find Megan. We find Megan and we see that Megan is trapped in this room that the first ever Wendigo was trapped in all those years ago. In a tape, which you can tell is like maybe about 1950s. So, I mean, if they're going according to the game, then it definitely would be 1950s, but they don't really say, so we don't know. We're just going to assume 1950s. So, yes. She saves her by this much. She almost didn't, and that was almost going to be the end of her. She was about to be attacked by a Wendigo that was chained up, which is also the first Wendigo that they had all this time chained up downstairs in the room that he first turned in. So, yeah, she saves her very slightly, almost dying, but she did not. They find a way out, different ways out though. The other three are together, Megan and Clover are together. They have to find a way out and they're being chased by a bunch of Wendigos. Megan's hurt, so, you know, she's taking her time, but she's trying to get through. Clover has to help her, but she's doing the best she can. It does slow them down, but they're trying their best to get out. And then the other three, they're being chased by Wendigos. They're trying the best that they can do to escape. Nobody's hurt, but they're still trying their best to get out. They make it out before Clover and Megan. And in their turn to try to escape with almost being caught, thanks to Wendigos pulling on Megan's leg and Megan pulling on Clover's leg, bringing them back down into the sanatorium after they found the exit, which was the same exit that Melody found right before her last night. They find them and boom, that's it. They beat it. Everything goes back to normal. They get to go home. That was the plot of the movie. So now y'all probably like, okay, you ain't telling me nothing that's making me want to like the movie. First, I want to start off by saying that I thoroughly enjoyed the movie itself. The main thing that I enjoyed, and there's two things. One, the storyline was really good if you take away the name of Until Dawn. This was a great idea to do a movie. However, we did see this already. Obviously, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. This style of horror movie has been done already, so it's not new, but the concept of it was great. Two, I like all the Easter eggs that they sprinkled in the movie. It was excellent. I loved it. It was amazing. I enjoyed so much of it. Just catching it the first time watching it, I wish I would have reacted to it, but instead I watched it on my own, and then I watched it again literally an hour after to go show my family. So I seen it twice in the same day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this kind of video on it, instead of having to watch it a third time and just pointing out Easter eggs to y'all and stuff like that. So, if y'all haven't caught any, I'll just give away some of the Easter eggs so you see what I enjoyed about the movie and why I liked it. For one, two sisters. They kept that the same, except for they weren't twins. Great. Did I want them to be twins? I would prefer them to be twins. Yes. Wendigos and their transformation. They kept it the same, just like the video game. Cannibalism is the way that you have to turn, which is really good. Dr. Hill is the therapist. Great. Loved it. But this time, this version of Dr. Hill is the version that Josh seen in his head instead of the good version that we've seen in the text messages when you find the text messages on Josh's phone in the game. The masked killer was almost equivalent to the masked killer, which obviously we know is Josh in the video game. Almost equivalent. I loved it. The hourglass that kept turning literally is on the cover of Until Dawn, and I mean, it was probably the most obvious Easter egg that there was. The skeleton face at the bottom of the hourglass is also at the bottom of the hourglass on the cover of the game, which also is probably the second most obvious Easter egg that there is. Abe's first death mimics Josh's fake death. In the game, Josh fakes his death by being cut in half. Abe's first death on the first night, when Nina finds him, he's cut in half. I thought that was great. That was something definitely hard to catch the first time around that was pointed out to me the second time I watched it, so I loved it. The radio transmitter in having the Asian character speak on it. In the game, Emily's the only Asian character and also female that is, and I'm not saying she's the only female, I'm saying she's a female who's also an Asian character, just like Megan's character who's a female who's also Asian in the movie. They have her speak on the radio transmitter to get help or try to get help, just like in the game. Thought that was great. Definitely probably a hard Easter egg to catch, but if you played it about 6-7 times like I have, you catch a bunch of Easter eggs. So yes. Moving on, we have the Don't Move sequence, which I think by far was the best, and I mean the best Easter egg the whole movie. The whole Don't Move sequence was amazing. From the flashing red lights to the darkness to the Wendigo being right behind Clover with her slightly moving and breathing and her covering up the flashlight. Everything about it was just amazing. I loved it. Then we had psychologist's office, which obviously looked identical to Dr. Hill's office in Josh's head, which probably how Dr. Hill's office looked in real life, the real Dr. Hill, which yes, was like identical. Then we had the observation setup cameras, which was just like Josh's setup cameras in his little observation room in the game. It was literally equivalent. We have Josh Washington's patient notes, which we now realize that Josh and everyone else is in the same universe as Clover and all her friends, which probably means that the second movie, if it gets a second movie, will be with the characters from the actual game. Now, would I prefer them to start with that? Yes, of course. I Live Until Dawn is one of my favorite games, but also one of my favorite horror games. So yes, I would have preferred them to start with that, but obviously they had other plans. So yeah. The ending showing a snowy lodge is a small Easter egg which previews what's going to happen next, which probably means that they will, just like I just previously mentioned, will probably, if they get a sequel, introduce the Washingtons, Sam, and everyone else. So, slight Easter egg. If you played it enough, they threw that in there to see if, you know, fans would get excited about it, which, I don't know. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. The electric chair in the movie is equivalent to the electric chair that was found by Mike in the game. It was amazing. It was in the same spot, through the window and everything. Same little dingy tan color, everything. It was just amazing. The sanatorium itself, self-explanatory. It has a different name, but everything else is pretty much the same. It's old, it's broken down, it's papers everywhere, it's dirty, you know, it's just water falling. Everything about the sanatorium look was just equivalent to the sanatorium look in the game, and I loved it. Clover discovering her sister's a Wendigo is exactly like Sam discovering that Hannah is now a Wendigo herself, and also Josh discovering that his sister is a Wendigo. A much more horrifying take because Sam discovered it through a note and Josh discovered it literally almost about to die, just like with Clover. So it's definitely closer to Josh's discovery than Sam's, but it is equivalent and I did enjoy it. The next is the handwriting in a book that resembles Hannah's handwriting in her notes. Throughout the days in the game, Hannah is writing in her diary, explaining what's going on. She's hungry, she's hurting, she broke her leg during the fall, yada, yada, yada. And throughout the days continue, her writing is getting worse and worse, more chicken scratchy, just like all the others, especially Melanie's, who we pay more attention to in the book, just like Melanie's handwriting, but also the other people that stayed there, prior to Melanie's stay at the place. Gets more chicken scratchy throughout, so you can start to see this is where they started to become Wendigos, because now they can't even write. They don't even have the brain power to even do that. Next is the video diary about the Wendigos. This in the movie is narrated by Dr. Hill, but in the game it is narrated by the stranger who ended up helping us. He's letting us know what's up with the yard, all that stuff. Almost equivalent to the game, almost, but I do love that it was in the game. It was amazing. Next is Megan wearing butterfly jewelry. Butterfly was a very big theme in the video game, especially with the game being based around the butterfly effect. Hannah also had a butterfly tattoo. She drew it on her paper, as in, this is the tattoo that I want. She drew it on her tattoo card, all that. She really loved and enjoyed butterflies, and the game was centered around butterfly effect. So it was a very important insect in the game. So they had Megan wear butterfly jewelry, which is very, very hard to catch, but it was there. And it was an amazing Easter egg that they snuck in there that you really would miss. Next is the witch gassing Clover. The witch gassing Clover is similar to if you get caught Josh gassing Sam when he's chasing her in her towel, when she's looking for everyone and everyone else has disappeared. This is obviously after Chris and Ashley has disappeared. And she's like, okay, where's everyone? He chases her through the house, and if you get caught, he gasses you, he knocks you out, and then you end up in the sanatorium. So that was equivalent to that, except for Clover gets possessed after instead of passing out. But it is equivalent. I did love that little Easter egg. Next is the dollhouse. It's very hard to catch, but there's a scene where they do go in the room and they're looking around in the house, and you could see in the background that there is a dollhouse, and there also are baby dolls, which were in the game, little creepy little baby dolls that they had in the dollhouse. Also hard to miss, probably blink and you'll miss it because they weren't in the room that long. But yes, it was in the video game that Chris and Ashley found, and it was in the room when they went in the room to look at places, to look for clues and things like that. And also a rocking horse, which was also in the game. It moved by itself when Chris and Ashley were downstairs looking for people and looking for clues. It was in the room, slightly rocking. There was one slightly rocking, it was actually two, and then there was one that was still. So yes, like I said, there are things that you would miss abruptly within a blink of an eye. Then you have the witch decaying face like Beth and Hannah. It happens slightly, but when she's attacking Clover, her face decays, and this is similar to Hannah and Beth's face decaying when Josh is kind of having a psychotic meltdown when he's in the caves by himself, and he's like blaming himself for his sisters being killed or went missing, whatever he thinks happened to them. Their face decays in his mind, and that is similar to what the witch did with her face when she was attacking Clover. Then you have Melanie in the woods resembling the fake ghost that Chris and Ashley saw. So when Chris and Ashley are downstairs, they see a ghost, according to Ashley, that is downstairs. It is a girl in a dress, and she pops up a few times when in the basement. Ashley sees it first, and she's trying to tell Chris, like, I seen it. He doesn't believe her, and then he sees it himself, and there's even a jump scare with the ghost and everything like that. In the movie, Melanie's in the woods, and she kind of doing the standing around, and she resembles the ghost that they seen. She has the dress on, she has the long hair, the jump scares, and everything like that. Next, we have the voice mimicking. This happens very quickly. It doesn't happen long in the movie, but when Clover first gets to the place where she's looking for Melanie, she hears somebody calling her name, or so she thinks. So she goes to follow the noise, which is closer in the rainy area than the dry area. And when Max goes to find her, check up on her, see if she's okay, she says that she could have sworn that she heard somebody calling her name, which could have been Melody mimicking her old voice, which they don't do. They don't mimic their old voices, they mimic other people's voices, but could have been mimicking her old voice, or it could have been another Wendigo itself mimicking Melanie's voice before she became a Wendigo to try to lure Clover in, which what they do in the game. If you play as Ashley, which I mean you do, at a certain point in time, if you decide to go to this place, there's a section where you have to follow the noise or continue to walk with the rest of the group once you get split up with them when you go into the sanatorium. And there is the voice of Jessica, who is known to her, but knows to her that she's dead, according to Mike. Mike seen her get attacked, and he's like, she's dead. Whether you save Jessica's character or not, to him, she's dead, so he tells everyone that she's dead. So Jessica, or the voice of Jessica, calls Ashley. Ashley follows it. She did get the choice to either continue to go with the group or continue investigating the noise. Now, if you did kill the character off, considering if you were fast enough or if you hit the right buttons, then this is obviously a setup. It's a setup either way because it's not Jessica at all. But, you know, if you managed to save her, you know, it's probably normal. You might have thought that it was her or anything like that because you don't see her character that much. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, they mimic the voices to try to lure people in to kill them. And if you do follow the voice and continue to follow it, they do call Ashley a few times. You do get that character killed. So yes. Finally, Megan falling on the cracking glass, which is very similar to Emily falling on cracking glass when she was inside the radio tower, except for when Megan did it, they weren't on the radio tower at all. She was on the ground in the woods from a Wendigo, and yep, she fell on cracking glass and she fell through. Yes, she did. She fell through. So yes, that is all the Easter eggs that I found. I thought that this was an amazing movie. I really enjoyed that, and I really hated that I hated on the movie when I seen the previews. I wish I would have gave it a chance back then, but I'm glad that I gave it a chance now. Like I said, if you don't like the movie, to each their own. Y'all probably won't even watch this video because of the title itself. But for those that did come and stayed this long, those are the reasons why I like this movie. And I'm not saying that y'all should give the movie another try. You don't have to like it, but I'm letting y'all know that I like this movie, and I did this video simply because I like the movie, and I didn't want to have to watch it a third time and react to it because it wouldn't have been the first time watching. It would have been a third time watching, and it's just not the same. So yes, that's it. I explained what happened in the movie. I'm sure I left some things out, but I explained the most important parts, and I explained to you the reasons why I like this movie. So yes, I know it feels more like Dead by Daylight instead of Until Dawn. I cannot agree more with y'all who said that, which I would totally love to see a Dead by Daylight movie, but we got Until Dawn instead, and there we go. The characters, they didn't really do much with the characters, and they didn't really give us much to work with to really care about them like in the game, but they were here and they made it, and I'm glad that they made it, only because of the fact that they weren't really all that dumb in this movie, which is very rare. This is kind of the first time where all the characters are really smart. They realize things, they noticed it, they problem solve, all of that. They make smart decisions most of the time throughout this movie. Every now and then they had to make dumb decisions because you need a movie and you have to make dumb decisions in a horror movie in order for it to continue. But nonetheless, they did a pretty swell job. So yes, there y'all go. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This was the first time ever I did something like this, and it probably won't be the last. Thank y'all for watching. Go watch all my other reactions, and if I do any other video like this in the future, please don't forget to take a look at it. It might be a show or a movie that you love that I'm talking about, so you know, stop by and see what I'm talking about if I drop another one of these videos. So thank y'all as well. If you're new, once again, subscribe, and welcome to the channel. If you're old, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like the video, turn on the bell so you know the next time I post. Follow the socials, which are always in the description box down below. Follow the gaming channel. We're still playing The Last of Us Part 2. Very little game, so we'll be on there a while. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Keep going, I can't let go. It's hard, but watch me grow. Ask God to heal my soul. Ask God to heal my soul. Keep moving, I gotta stay low. Not fast, I gotta go slow. Give it all till I can't no more. Give it all till I can't no more.